The beauty about this chapter will make greater relevance to you if you can think from the mindset of being a non-Jew that deals with the sense of superiority that the Jews project. In a funny sense, it's a close parallel to contemporary sense of superiority that church folk present. I'll say that again just in case you missed it. For you to fully understand what Paul is expressing here, it is the same feelings that Jews, a non-Jew, the feeling a non-Jew has in dealing with a Jew, and can only be comparable to how non-church folk feel when they get around church folk. You know, you need to understand the history of Israel. The Jewish people are people that have a track record that at this point in time had almost 3,000 years, 2,000 years of a relationship with God. For the Philistines, non-Christians, the Romans in this generation, everybody knew Jews. They had a track record for their defiling anything that tried to bring them in captivity. Had been taken in captivity many times, yet they had just an attitude about them because they served Yahweh. Our fathers, our grandfathers, our great-grandfathers had always been God worshippers. So they had a kind of a peck on their shoulder, an attitude that we know God. We know God. We've known God for generations. Even when we went in slavery, we've always known God. We're tight with God. And the danger of that is that a self-righteousness creeps in on you. Paul deals with that with just greater authority in chapter 3. But he lays the foundation here. I've been asked many times, and this will cause a ruckus, so we won't start it. Is Israel always right? Oh, come on. Don't go down there. We have all kinds of convictions here, so we won't go there. But this is the issue. Israel, God's chosen people. What this scripture teaches is that they are a people that God had a covenant with. But that covenant was not because they were special in of themselves. They were simply a conduit through which God was going to bring salvation to all of mankind. Ephesians deals with this concept of this gospel that has always been hid. You see that in Ephesians. You see that in Colossians. And this presents something that you have to understand about God. God is a patient God. Oh my God, he's patient. Just think about how he deals with you. You know he's patient. Think about how he deals with you. Me speaking for myself. You realize God is a patient God. The salvation that we see in Jesus was not God changing his mind about Israel. That was how God always thought. He used 2,000 years of human history to bring Jesus legally into the earth to redeem humanity. Think about this. God is so legal, he wouldn't cheat his enemy. That is how legal God is. He wouldn't shortcut the system to redeem humanity. He paid the full price in the death of his son to buy us back that belonged to him. But his relationship with Israel was a process to get us there. But this is the problem. Israel got stuck on the process. The book of Romans and this second chapter is Paul bringing us to the realization that don't get stuck in the process. God is still doing more. There's more that God is working in you than you fully know now. Why? Because the revelation of God is progressive. It takes time. God literally he takes us step by step by step by step. There are depths of God's mercies that you and I don't know anything about. There are depths of his faithfulness that we don't know anything about. There are depths of his wisdom that we don't know anything about. There are depths of his kindness that we don't know anything about. What are those things? I've just described the attributes of his character. Our Christian walk is constant growth in deeper depths of elements of his character. That is what our Christianity is about. And that is why when challenges come against you, it's an opportunity to see another depth of his person. Don't get stuck up thinking, wow, we're there now. Wow, we're hot. We know God. Once you get that attitude, you miss the ability to grow in God. And that is what he deals with predominantly in this second chapter. You kind of hear him kind of knocking the Jews in this chapter. Almost telling them, don't think you're all that. In fact, he almost kind of slightly gets sarcastic. You think you're sharp, right? You're the one that teaches everybody. Let's read that portion again.